What a gorgeous morning it is after a stormy day. We're probably due up for a stormy weekend too, but right now it's magnificent. We're about to let the big birds out in the coop that is of appropriate size and ventilation and everything else that all of the people that joined us recently think I don't do. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about something that I wanted to address since I saw an update from a farmer. I saw this update yesterday as I'm recording. It'll be a few days old as of you seeing it. And you know it's going to get loud here for a second. Because they're happy. So recently, actually not so recently, several months ago, a relatively local farmer made some really poor decisions around a goat that was having a difficult delivery in terms of kitting. This was a farmer that ran a goat snuggle operation. That's about all I'm going to tell you. Look, I did a whole video on it. If you want the details and the specifics, it has some trigger warnings, and you can go back and listen to that. I don't want to put trigger warnings on this video, and we're not going to talk about the actual situation. Suffice it to say, this farmer has pending charges against him for animal cruelty, animal torture, and just poor decisions, frankly. So he's got a court case pending. The court case has been pushed back several times. I've been following it along, hoping that at some point we're going to get some justice, not for the animals, unfortunately, but at least for, you know, setting the record straight around how animals should be treated, right? I mean, it's just, that is the expectation, right? So he puts out this 9-minute update, which, oh, by the way, it has to be at least 8 minutes for you to get money from it. So just keep that in mind, right? It was a 9-minute update on, you know, how he's effectively giving away his goats. I don't know if that's true or not. He claims he's not taking any money for his goats. That may or may not be the case. The other sob story aspect of this is that he, you know, claims that because of his pending charges, which are pending, meaning that he has not been found guilty of anything, he has not been found at fault for anything at this time. Of course, the situation was live streamed, so it's really hard to deny it. But at this time, innocent till proven guilty, right? In a court of law. And he hasn't gone to court. But he tells this whole sob story, you know, about how they started the farm. And, you know, that part was quite lovely. And I can understand that part, right, where it starts very small and it grows quickly. And, you know, good for him and his wife for being able to build this business. And apparently they had some deals with vendors and whatnot. And after the pending charges, those deals have all fallen through. Every vendor has walked away from him, you know, saying, look, we don't want to do business with you while you got this going on. We can't be associated with you and your reputation right now. Completely and totally normal and expected, and I would hope nothing less from brands and vendors. So he gives, you know, so he goes into this whole sob story about how by the loss of all these deals, he can't pay his bills, but yet he's giving away his goats because he wants his goats to have these wonderful homes, and he's sending them away by the trailer load. And it sounds like he had about 200, and he's maybe moved 50 on at this point. Now, again, it's been months, so it's not like he started this right away. And it sounds like it's now happening more so for financial reasons than actually the concern or well-being of your goats. So I wanted to talk about it only because it felt so disingenuous. And it breaks my heart to see someone get, and there were 500 comments on this post on the one platform I looked at. And, of course it's across multiple platforms. So who knows how many other comments there were. And I also don't know if, they're filtering comments and they're disabling comments or blocking comments, but every single one of those 500 comments was positive and supportive and fed into this, you did the right thing, you made a good choice, you couldn't have done anything different. And oh my gosh, that's so far from the truth. So, I watched this thing, and I did watch it in full, which drove me nuts because it meant he get another view and another couple of pennies from my view. But, after going through the whole saga of, or I shouldn't say saga, but the whole history of how the farm became and why it's so important to him and how it became his lifestyle and his business, and he gave up his corporate career and blah, 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 blah. And now he's giving away his goats because, he wants them to have this wonderful life. And it's very self-serving and it's very performative. And he was out there, hugging them and tearing up and blah, right? Then he ends it with this whole, I have faith in my, future, and I'm going to survive this, and we're going to come back, or we're going to have something different's going to come. And, as a human being, I appreciate that. Our little chickens here gathered up on the end. I do appreciate that. I do understand wanting to, get through the bad times and see that there's a future at the other side. I don't fault him for that. What I fault him for is putting it on the freaking internet when you don't address the situation that caused you to be here. You don't apologize for it. You don't acknowledge what you've done. You don't advise other businesses that may be going down your path on some of the watch outs. Obviously, with a court case pending, you cannot address certain things. But again, some of this was like live streamed and is recorded on the internet. So it's not like there's evidence that can be disputed. So there are things you can say, there are things you can do. And even if you don't want to talk about this specific issue, instead of talking about how wonderful you are and how fabulous this business was and how mean the world is and how you have faith that like life is going to come back for you and take care of you, how about talking about what not to do if you're going to start a goat snuggling business, or what the struggles were, or how you got your vendor contracts to be on, anything that would be helpful to others in that situation, as opposed to this self-serving crapola that you dragged out for 9 full minutes. Comically enough, I'm almost at 9 minutes here. Don't think I don't know that. I'm being hypocritical. But you dragged it out for all that time just to get the monetization on that video. And if you're strapped for cash and you're hurting because you have legal fees and you have to pay lawyers, you earned it, right? Like you signed yourself up for that. And I would hope that as somebody who was smart enough to be a business person before they became a farmer, and then smart enough to create this giant farm business around goat snuggling with vendor deals and, constant support and a huge presence online, right? Like, I think if you're smart enough to do all that, then you're smart enough to have a savings account for the inevitable. And theoretically, you should have also been smart enough not to do what you did. But listen, I just wanted to tell you, keep you updated on that, right? So I did that video back during baby season. So babies were here. The incident happened, I want to say, in April or May. I don't really remember, and I don't really want to remember. And I did a video pretty close to that because there were a lot of disparate opinions on the internet about whether it was the right or wrong thing to do. I gave my opinion. My opinion is it was the wrong thing to do. So you can go back and look at that if you want, but I haven't talked about it since. I have been, however, keeping tabs on it in the background to see if the court system ever follows through. And again, it hasn't gone to court at all, actually, as far as I can tell, but it's been pushed and adjourned, and there are some things happening, and it's just a long, long process. So the next upcoming court date, I think, is this month. But again, that's very likely to be pushed, and it might not happen until September, and then September might be pushed, right? This could go on for quite some time. So I am keeping a tab on it. I am following it along. I was just surprised to see him kind of in this "I'm back" video, and everybody loved me. And so I needed to come out and complain about it. So for what it's worth, you know, if you're interested in keeping up with it, I am trying to keep up with it. I am not a commentary channel in that sense. But when it comes to things that are important to this industry and, you know, happening in my very local area, right? Not my backyard, of course, but close enough. I want to talk about it. I want to keep you updated on it if you're interested. And I also, of course, want to show you that I have a full-size area for my birdies that is not the temporary grow-out pen, that has plenty of grass and enrichment and all the things, including a full-on pond with all sorts of yummies and goodies for the birds. I took a lot of heat for a video that went, not viral by any means, but went a little bigger than anticipated, and a lot of people found me that way. So if you're new here, I'm super appreciative that you decided to join us, and I hope that you continue to be here with us. And for those that found me from this ridiculous 5-minute video that I put out on like a really New Jersey level hot day in my grow out pen with no context, because, you know, all these videos are unscripted and I expect you to sort of know and understand what we do here. My puppies keep following me around, and my pretend puppy. That, you know, I do take care of my animals. They do have appropriate housing, and, you know, it's just really funny that that was the one video that YouTube decided to show to a lot of people, and I got a lot of negativity from that. And I get it if it's the only thing you saw. So that was a while ago at this point. I've recovered from it. My feelings aren't hurt anymore. Well, maybe they are a little since I'm talking about it, but I think that's about it. So this was the morning routine here. We let the birds out. I go clean the barn. I feed and water everybody. Yeah, I really do feed and water everybody. Go figure. And I'm just enjoying an absolutely gorgeous day where the temperature is fabulous. There's a breeze. The animals are super happy about it. I don't have to put fans on in the barn. Life is good. So I hope you all are having just as fabulous a day as you're watching this. And until next time, as always, I've got work to do. Bye for now.